We are in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, visiting the Kleysen Group, which is part of the larger Mullen Group. Kleysen will be running a Kenworth T880 sleeper tractor with a Cummins X15N engine using natural gas during this run-on-less messy middle as it hauls heavy bulk liquids into a far north region with extreme temperatures. Let's learn about how Kleysen is looking forward to testing the full extent of this natural gas technology.
The site here today that you're looking at is our Edmonton facility, and we transload what we call multi-commodities.
We do a variety of commodities here, from our bulk tankers with diesel, gasoline, jet fuel, biodiesels, along with our flat deck work that we do.
Our fleet today is roughly 250 tractors. Mullen is very innovative and always researching the newest technologies, the newest alternative fuels. They propose to us that natural gas is probably the most feasible currently in the marketplace today. There are other fuels, but we don't find yet that they have the technologies for Class 8 trucks pulling 63,500.
In 2024, we came first to market with the Cummins X15N engine. It opens a lot of doors with additional power, additional capability that wasn't possible with prior natural gas power plants.
So when we got our first natural gas truck, we determined that we wanted to operate in some of our harshest environments, which is northern Alberta, from Edmonton, Grand Prairie to Fort McMurray in particular.
We put this truck in the -30, it was a lower temperature. And now we're operating in high temperatures, which are hitting 30, 35. And there's no complaint. I don't see nothing wrong. It's operating in the same way.
Right now we're looking at day trips in particular. So 500 to 600 mile round trips, or 1,000 kilometers. Fully loaded with Super B tankers in particular, what this truck does.
What directly impacts the range and reduces the anxiety for the driver is the fuel tank configuration. That's where the collaboration with the OEMs, the fuel tank providers, etc. becomes critical, so that you spec the right tank to be able to get the job done.
This truck behind me here is a 244-inch wheelbase, and it features a 175 diesel gallon equivalent Cummins Clean Fuel Technologies tank at the back of cab. At Kenworth, we offer specific sales codes and spec options for customers to tailor in that wheelbase and get that spec right up to where they need it to be, and accommodate whatever the fuel or range that they might want to have on that truck.
Because of course it is a pilot project, we want to get the right operator in the seat of the truck, somebody that is skilled, knowledgeable, forward-thinking, and that embraces the pioneerism of clean energy.
I have over 2 decades of experience. I did drive in Europe, mostly Germans, France, Netherlands, Belgium. Also in England for a couple of years, and I'm here over 10 years now. So actually that was my concern about alternative fuel. I thought they won't have the same power as diesel, and I get surprised because it does. When doing incline, it's a little bit faster than diesel. And it's more quiet than diesel. So the ride it's much better. We don't get so tight because we're tired usually because of the noises from the engines. The truck in the morning, it's warming up faster, so I can start working faster. And I really love that. That's a huge advantage in our job. We usually come in the morning, we get assigned a job to us. The dispatch will dispatch us, we'll tell what to do, and we start with pre-trip. And usually it's a short trip. It's around, could be from half an hour to 1 hour. Then we came back and probably get another job. With highway jobs, we come in the morning, we pre-trip the truck, and then we hit the highway. So we usually go away for a couple hours, right? And then could be a long haul job, so which is we stay in the truck for a couple of days.
It's not a traditional fuel gauge, and it's a really hard thing to wrap your head around because it's not an empty full scenario. So you have to have a bit of forethought. Okay, I've got this much pressure in the tank, I can go this far.
Natural gas being lighter than air, gaseous fuel, the ambient temperature outside does impact the pressure within the tank. So what we are always talking about and trying to educate the fleet on is the difference between pressure and the actual volume quantity of fuel within the tank. 3,600 PSI is the industry standard at 20 degrees Celsius. But as you drop down to -30 or +30, there's going to be a big swing in pressure. But the volume and the range within that truck remains the same. We typically will design the compression of our site to mirror that of diesel.
Refueling natural gas is easy and safe. It's maximum 15 minutes.
Most of our clientele, they expect us to reduce our carbon footprint, and how can we reduce their carbon footprint?
Tying it back to why fleets look at natural gas as an option, sustainability is a big reason for that. Using RNG, which has a much lower carbon intensity, and in a lot of cases, depending upon the source, even negative carbon intensity, it helps them achieve the CO2 emission reduction goals quicker. And a fleet does not need to go 100% RNG. They could just use a blend. But one of the important factors there, and this brings to the second aspect that fleets look at when adopting it, is the total cost of ownership. So you will have to look at what is the right blend, which gives them a balance between the right pricing for the fuel, but still reduce the CO2 emissions to meet their sustainability goals. Here in Canada, right now, access to RNG is not as widely as what we have for CNG. So I think as the infrastructure matures and as fuel becomes more widely adopted, we would see more adoption of RNG in our market out here as well.
I always talk about the economics of natural gas because I'm a big believer that, fundamentally it has to make sense with or without funding. And the strength in this technology is in the underlying commodity of natural gas itself. A commodity that is extremely stable and has been for the last decade. And that's just a reflection of the supply and demand balance. We have so much capacity in Canada alone to produce in far excess of what the demand is.
This is our first CNG tractor. And so we've got some testing and proving to do to make sure that this is definitely the route we want to go. We try to stay on the forefront. Obviously, it's sometimes a catching up game, but we like to be in the forefront.